electronic gear. And Bobbie, you're on.
Timothy, it seems like whenever I talk with you, I'm always starting out by saying I'm very impressed with what you've done in this film, but I really, just fantastic performance. That's all I can say. It's just great.
Oh, thank
Falcon
you
and the
very
Snowman.
much.
Yeah, enjoyed it very much. I'm wondering now, just to get a little bit background on Christopher Boyce, what age is he now, where is he, and just those particulars.
Well, he's about 32 years old right now, and he's at a place somewhere in Illinois.
You can't say for sure?
I'd rather not, to protect his privacy.
But he is, of course, still in prison.
Yes, he is.
Are there any chances that he would be paroled anytime soon?
Well, I know he has a hearing coming up sometime this spring, but as far as chances of actually being paroled, I don't know.
It was a 40-year sentence,
It was a
wasn't
40-year sentence with 25 added on, I believe, for things he did when he escaped, the escape itself and things like that.
Tim, I know you talked with him. What is his feeling now? Is he bitter? Is he remorseful? What?
Well, I find him to be much different than most people view him. I got to know him. I spoke to him on the phone every day for 3-4 months. I went to visit him. I found him to be extremely sensitive, bright, articulate, one of the most intelligent people I've ever met, deeply caring, a very deep social consciousness. And he's come across in different interviews he's done, namely 60 Minutes, as being a bit bitter and at times cocky and without any remorse. But I don't find him to be that way. I think that he's a much different person, and I hope this movie will show that a little bit. I didn't consciously play him sympathetic, although people are reacting that way. I just played him as I saw him. I played him as the person I met, as the person that I researched extensively, and that's the person that is in the movie.
Of course, he might have been, though, different back when he did it, don't you think? Don't you think maybe he's changed through the years?
Well, if anything, he's gotten harder. I mean, prison will do that to you. You know, you get a shell on you, very defensive posture. But I talked to many people who knew him when he was at the age when he did what he did, and if anything, he was much more of the sensitive kind of, you know, much less defensive individual that he perhaps has become publicly. Yeah.
Tim, did you ever just point blank ask him why he did it?
Well, no, I never asked him exactly that way. I mean, certainly that was my key question to him. And instead of asking him it directly, I came to know and understand some of the reasons. Not agree with them, but understand some of the reasons why he did it. I think it's based on many things. The way he, the atmosphere of the times, where he grew up, a very sheltered place like Palos Verdes, where people aren't that much in contact with what's happening in the entire grand scheme of things.
Affluent community.
Very affluent community. So many times young people that are in a community like that, their political views are a reflection of their parents, whose political views are a reflection of their parents. And it goes on down the line, and very rarely does a kid develop his own, at a young age like Chris was, their own strong political views and moral views, even if they are opposed directly to their parents. And he was like that, and that has to be admired, I mean, to be that independent. I think more people should be like that, more young people, and I think that movie will say that more than anything.
What's the relationship between the two boys now? Do they have any communication?
I don't believe so. I don't think they've really corresponded since their trial.
You think there's a bitterness there or estrangement or something?
I don't think so. I think it's a bit difficult. They're in two different places, prisons, and I think you know, it's very difficult for them to. I think it's virtually impossible for them to maintain any kind of communication.
He is so intelligent, as you have said, and with that intelligence, though, didn't he think eventually he would be caught?
Absolutely. I don't think for a second he thought that he was going to get away with it. He said that himself. It's just that he waited out, and his form of protest was much more important to him, no matter what the risk involved. And therefore, he had to do what he had to do. And how his feelings manifested themselves into selling secrets to the Soviets in Mexico was perhaps a choice that could have been considered a little bit more, but he had to do what he had to do. He was so, had such a deep hurt, a deep passion for what he believed in, that this is how he went about it.
Well, Timothy, it's a fascinating story, and your portrayal just makes it all the more so. And again, we appreciate the opportunity to talk with you about it, and hope it's a big, big hit for all of you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim. Good to see you.
Too.
Cut, print, nice.
Okay.
Speed.
Action.
What age is Christopher now, and where is he located? You don't know where he is, or you just don't want to say? What about chances for parole? And it was a 40-year sentence, wasn't it? Tim, did you ever point blank ask him why he did it? Is there any communication between the two guys? Very affluent community. Okay, let's just do reactions now. Okay,
Cut it.
thank you.